How guilty do you feel when you can't go to the gym or something comes up and it stops you? Very, I'm the same, but it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, we've got busy lives, we've got long days, we've got families. However, to get great results in the gym, we don't actually have to do as much as we think we need to do. In fact, we don't need to train at all to get great results, to change our body composition, to drop a bit of body fat, to feel confident, look good, and make progress when it comes to our health and fitness. Now, I'm talking to people working 9-5, shift workers, parents that's busy, got a lot on their plate, juggling like myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down for you and give you a lot of confidence and belief that you can actually make a lot of progress if you want to incorporate training into your busy schedule. Because the good news is you don't need to train 90 minutes 4 or 5 times a week. You don't have to go to the gym every day. 2 or 3 workouts is enough. That's the first takeaway from today. It's really important to understand 2 30, 40 minutes workouts is better than 1 90-minute workout in a week. To be short and be effective, then sporadic just once every 2 months or once every week or once every 2 weeks is not going to cut it. So I will encourage you to start creating better habits around your frequency. Maybe once. If you haven't gone to the gym, the starting point will be to just go once for the next 4 weeks and just build that consistency and build that habit, because it's impossible to go from 0 to hero. Okay, we see a lot of people, they want to get on the fitness journey and they want to run 3 10Ks in the next week. Okay, we need to just slow it down because we are overwhelmed and we're going to get burned out. We're going to crash and burn mentally, physically. We're going to get fatigued. Most likely we're going to get burned out and we're going to give up. Okay, 3-4 weeks is normally the cutoff point. So the first thing I would recommend you to do is focus on short workouts. Whether you want to do this at home or in the gym, that's completely up to you. Because remember, we need to try and make fitness fit your life, not your life to fit fitness. Okay, we need to try and make it a lifestyle. It's really important. I encourage all my clients, and including myself, to make it part of your life, because otherwise it feels like a chore and we don't want to do that. So it's very important to remember that it's not necessarily needed to train. You don't have to go to the gym to lose body fat, to get healthier, to get fitter. Okay, if you obviously want to compete in a sport, etc., that's completely different. But from a body fat composition's point of view, we need to focus on our calories and our food intake. That's the main priority. But weight training, where does that play a big role? Okay, we're not talking about cardio, we're talking about weight training. Where does that play a big role in our body composition, in our well-being, in our health? It plays a massive role. The number one role it'll play when it comes to exercise. So many people are getting hung up and dragged into running and cardio and HIIT workouts and sweating, because sweating apparently will indicate hard work, and sweat means losing body fat. So far from the truth. So the first thing I want you to recognize is that weight training plays a huge fundamental role when it comes to building muscle, preserving muscle, okay, for longevity. It's going to help you live longer, because you can remember, you can imagine if you're getting frail as you get older, okay, our life expectancy will reduce, our quality of life will reduce. And if we lose the ability to move without muscle mass, which comes from strength training, then we're going to lose the ability to move, do things. And this is how we age very, very quickly. And before we know it, I train people in their 40s and the 50s. They can't touch their toes. They can't do a squat, okay, because my knees hurt, okay, or I'm scared because my back is not strong enough. And that's not a way to live. That's just a slow indicator of, I would call it dying or on the way out. And there's nothing worse than losing the ability to move well, because that's the ultimate ticket to freedom, I believe. So number one is strength training. Now, I know a lot of women will be watching this, and the old stigma or myth around weight training is going to make you bulky. It's not. I will pop a video on, a photo on here of my wife. She's been weight training for many years, okay? She's not on steroids, and she's looking pretty good from just weight training. The reason I'm saying she's not on steroids is because the photos and the videos we see on Instagram, in the papers, on social media of females, perhaps that's their sport, perhaps that's their job, perhaps they get sponsored to do that. And we compare lifting weights with these individuals, okay? There's nothing better than having a bit of definition, being toned. And when we talk about tonedness or definition, that is muscle mass, okay? So how do we get toned is by lifting muscle mass so we can have visible definition on our muscles, okay? Because if we have a layer of body fat covering that muscle, you're not going to be toned. So just doing cardio is not going to get rid of one of your body fat. You need to build muscle so you can start seeing the definition. It's very important. So the old myth of you are going to get bulky, it's not true. So a lot of women, females, doesn't matter from what background, that wants to get into weight training is essential. Okay, so that's going to be the number one thing. So if you are trying to get into exercise, stay away from cardio, stay away from HIIT training for now. Okay, the reason I say that is because weight training is the number one life ticket to longevity. We know that it's going to preserve muscle mass, it's going to build muscle mass. Okay, your metabolic rate is higher, so when you burn calories at rest, you will burn more calories having more muscle mass. Imagine having a V6 engine compared to a Fiat 500, okay? You are burning more fuel. So you want to be that V6 engine, okay? And also, when it comes to females, the hormone levels are going to be much more balanced. We know from a lot of studies that HIIT training, cardio, excessive burning calories actually fluctuate and plays a huge negative has a negative effect on women's hormones. So we're trying to steady this by reducing the amount of cardio and high intensity workouts you do, because we don't want to increase the cortisol levels too much, because we know a lot of people don't recover, fuel themselves properly, and they're putting more stress on themselves by burning loads of calories and putting themselves through these rigorous workouts. And it's just a spinning wheel, because ultimately what will happen with cardio is you will start eating more. Subconsciously you'll eat more because you've starved the body from energy, you've depleted the glycogen store, and if the body is hungry, it wants food. So there's no wonder you reaching out for snacks, you crave in the evenings, because your energy expenditure is too high. So we need to prioritize this and bring the intensity down and focus on weight training. So you'll see a lot of people spend a lot of time running, but they're actually gaining weight. Why? Because they're not building muscle. Okay, so they're losing muscle mass, which is not what we want. We want to build muscle mass and maintain muscle mass. So that's enough on why we need to weight train. So we're going to go back to 3 sessions is better than one 90-minute session. We want to focus on 4 to 5 strength exercises, whether that's a squat, whether that's a pull, a push movement. We're doing 8 to 12 reps. Okay, we have a 90-second rest. We do 3 rounds. Okay, we're going to do one exercise. Then we're going to move to the next one. Okay, within my Bosch for Training program, we've called it the Build program. I'll put the link below. This is how we structure it. It's really easy to follow, and we make it really simple. 30, 40 minutes, bish, bash, bosh, you're out, and you've got a great stimulus. The bang for your buck by doing full body workouts over those 3 days is going to be massive. So you want to focus on a full body day, full body day, full body day. If you're going to train 3 times a week, if you're only going to train once a week, you do a full body day. Twice a week, full body day. 3 times a week, full body day. Why? Because then we're hitting all the muscle groups. Because if we don't then train the other 2 days of the week, or something comes up, at least we've hit all muscles and we've stimulated everything. The problem I have with doing an upper body, lower body, and a leg day, or upper body split and a leg split, is if you miss one day because your dog is ill or the kids needs to be dropped up at the at after school club and something's come up and you can't do it, then you've missed out on that day. So the best bang for your buck will be do full body workouts. Okay, so we want to try and create consistency. So as I said, 3 shorter workouts is much better than a long 90-minute workout. We are trying to focus on building muscle. We don't want to sweat. Okay, so we're not chasing calories. Okay, building muscle. So you're now going to ask me, how am I going to increase my energy expenditure? Very good question. So we're trying to get that in through doing our steps. Okay, now if you train once a week, I want you to focus on weight training. If you train 3 times a week, weight training. If you train 4 times a week, you can perhaps then add a cardio day in. So 3 weight sessions is enough. If you train 5 times a week, you can do 3 training sessions in the gym and 2 cardio sessions. When we talk about cardio sessions, we want to keep it low intensity. Okay, zone 2. Okay, just type into ChatGPT, what is my zone 2 heart rate from age, and we'll tell you that. Because we don't want to hit the zone 3, zone 4 kind of HIIT style workouts. Again, it's not effective and efficient for calorie burn and for fat loss. So we want to keep the heart rate down. Okay, so you can focus your strength training and then focus on your cardio the other 2 days of the week. Or you can do a short 10-15 minute cardio session on the treadmill after your strength training, always after. Okay, because our priority will be weight training. So that is always really, really key. Then, as I said, 4 to 5 exercises within that workout to keep it really simple. Most gyms that you go to will have fixed resistance machines, which is a push and a pull. You'll see you can just put the pen in. It's really simple. If you do a full body program, you maybe do a shoulder, a chest exercise, you do a back exercise, you do one leg exercise, and you can do maybe another whatever area of the body that you want to focus on, because we are focusing on building muscle. And also remember, you cannot target or spot reduce a body part. So if you've got slightly big arms because it's carrying more body fat, it doesn't matter if you're going to do 5 exercises on your arms. It's not going to change shape. We need to prioritize our calories, which is really important for fat loss. Weight training will speed up the calorie burn, but it's not going to tone your arms. You need to reduce your body fat by eating less, but that is another element of getting into good shape. Okay, so we specifically talking about weight training today and how we can make that effective and efficient. So you're a busy parent, you've got a 9-to-5 job. What should I do? 30 to 40 minutes. You go into the gym, you do 30 to 40 minutes, 5 exercises, 4 to 5 exercises. You do 8 to 10 reps. So let's go for 10 reps on each exercise with a 90-second break in between, and you move to the next one. It is that simple. On the last 2 reps, you want to try to challenge yourself. You want to feel challenged when it comes to the rep. That's how you know that's enough weight. Okay, so if it's too easy, you do 12, 15 reps, you know, perhaps you can increase that weight to something heavier. That's going to be challenging on the next rep. So that's going to be when it comes to your weight training. Then we're also going to look at, we want to eliminate all the fancy stuff. You see so many people doing all these fancy fluffy workouts on Instagram and Facebook. They don't really get in shape by doing those things. It's just clickbait stuff, and people get dragged and sucked into that. But as a busy, fully functioning adult listening to this, we want to be efficient, we want to be focused, and we want to get great results by doing this. So the message today for you is I encourage you to get started with some weight training at your local gym. Okay, once a week. If you struggle, go to twice. If you get consistent, go to twice a week. Don't try and run before you can walk. Take it really slow. 1 session for the next 4 weeks is enough. Then you can add another session in, because consistency will always build long-term results. It's very important, and we can't expect results just within the first week or 2. You need to be consistent with this, but like I said, you need to make it part of your life. So be effective with your time, and then find out what's the best time of the day that you are most effective, that you're going to be most productive when it comes to your workout. And there's no point, if you are not a morning person, you want to go to the gym in the morning. So find out what energy drives you to what time of the day, and then you can prioritize that in there. I would always say aim for 1 to 2 workouts throughout the week, and the weekend we've got lots of time, and then you can add one in on the weekend, which gives you that 2 or 3 sessions. The rule we follow within the BoschFit community is we never skip more than 2 days. So we cannot go 2 days without any sort of movement, whether that's a workout or 7,500 steps. So all my members in the BoschFit community, they know that rule. I follow that rule certainly, because after 2 days I start getting a bit twitchy. So you can't go 2 days. If you train Monday, you can skip Tuesday, Wednesday, but you have to go on Thursday. It's just a simple, solid rule we followed. Hold us accountable. But hopefully that was a bit of insight on how you can incorporate weight training, how important it is, and what to focus on, because I think there's so many fluff that distracts us all. But if you want more information on our build program or the BoschFit community, which is only £39 a month, and you basically get 3-4 training programs depending on your ability. Also, you get nutrition support. You got private Facebook group with all the support and knowledge for people over 40 that want to feel good, look better, be a bit more confident without all the extremes and fluff. Then I will drop the link below. And then thank you for watching. And hopefully you've enjoyed it and take something away. If there's any questions on anything about efficiency or effective workouts, then for busy schedules, please drop it in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you inside the program.